Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, innovating, and amazing Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane. The one, the only master propaganda hero, like defender of the fatherland, off here to a 1v1 on, you guessed it is, Crossroads. In the north is the angriest of Dutchmen, the angry Dutchman, fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland, here with the 16th Panzer Grenadier Division, with Jaeger Infantry featuring ambush training, Jaeger light infantry upgrades, Jaeger command squads, that's a lot of Jaeger stuff, light artillery barrages, and of course Stuka anti-tank strafes. In the south is expensive runner. Fighting for the Red Army, the Soviet Union, the glorious 12th Guards Tank Corps, with Guard motor coordination tactics, with T-35s, heavy mortars, Guards rifle infantry, vehicle crew repair training, and marked vehicle, double grenadier versus double conscripts. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my patron supporters, champions and heroes one and all, and without them this episode and so many others would not be possible. So big thanks go out to all those. Other people can join the heroic and illustrious ranks by pledging on Patreon, or they can consider donating my PayPal, links in the description. Finally, commenting, liking, sharing, subscribing, also helps out the mighty Propagandacast. So, first engaging the Pioneers caught by the conscripts as expensive runner dives aggressively towards the German lines here. Third conscript there on the well ready for him. Angry Dutchman here, not quite yet with a third Grenadier squad, perhaps an MG42 or a sniper. No, there we go, third Grenadier squad. Hard push towards Eastern Fuel Point here as Angry Dutchman is taking more steady yet angry approach here towards the Western Fuel Point. Third Grenadier squad halfway done. Coming up, they're about to flank the Pioneers here. Putting pressure on Angry Dutchman. The training definitely makes it harder here for Angry Dutchman to make more use of his troops efficiently here versus expense runners conscripts. Third Grenadier squad they're arriving. Moving towards the centre here up north point being seized up with the Grenadier. Sandbags up here in the east Vic 2 point being seized by the Engineers. Sandbags up here in the centre from expensive runner. Briefly considered a fourth conscript squad, but again with most players if they go for guard motor, they will go for 3 conscripts, 2 engineers, and then mix in some guard rifle infantry. Angry Dutchman here with a 4th Grenadier squad. No machine guns as of yet. He may still go for them down the road, but he's definitely looking to commit heavily to infantry. Will we be seeing the Jaeger infantry package to leverage this a bit more aggressively, or will he just stick to the classic light machine guns? We'll have to see here. But counter that pushback with the Grenadiers being focused down here by Angry Dutchman's valiant but angry Grenadiers. Grenadier squad before they're arriving here for Angry Dutchman's base as number 3 retreats, having suffered some extensive losses. Still overall here, expense runners being great use of the train here and pressure points to keep Angry Dutchman a bit contained. So far, very efficient play by expense runner, definitely putting some pressure down Angry Dutchman. He can take up now. He also got some sandbags there. We'll have to see if he does take or he does go for that machine gun, or possibly commits like a 5th Grenadier squad. There we go. We got instead take there, and we... No, actually it's the bunker, not take. It's the bunker. Pushing into the Grenadiers there, another point there. That's actually, we can see there with a quick push here. He's acting out threatening the Western Fuel Point here. Will Angry Dutchman respond to this by moving in his forces there? Will he keep up the eastern push towards the Eastern Fuel Point instead, which is much more likely to defend it. So the argument here certainly makes sense. Like instead of just swing everything westwards and not get anything here, you could just ignore the west for the time being, set push for the Eastern Fuel Point. That would be an interesting shift there. We do get the tech now, but the Pioneers are at a high risk of getting wiped out here by the conscripts. East side here, Engineer squad is slowly holding up here. Engineer squad can't retreat the Pioneer, and there you go. Otto makes it back home. In the south here, Engineers routed. We've got the Engineers pushed towards the Western Fuel Point. So in this case, they actually end up working somewhat well here for Angry Dutchman on the west. He just needs to interdeal with Engineers here, but he's getting the Eastern Fuel Point. Expense runners marshalling his forces there for counterattack towards the Eastern Fuel Point. Take almost done. Medics on the way there. Fuel point there cut off. He is remaining Grenadiers. He's not committing towards the Western Fuel Point there. He is either concerned about more troops hiding about there, or he just doesn't want to get close to the flamethrower, which who can fault anyone for not wanting to get close to a flamethrower's business. And Rife Grenade off here, of course signaling to expense runner that Angry Dutchman has reached tier 1, because he can't pop those Rife Grenades without that tier upgrade there, or tier 2 actually. I mean, that was silly, tier 1 though. But anyways, we got the spawn company up here for expensive runner. Counters routed. Probably going to be seeing an armoured car for the Angry Dutchman. Of course, with all this infantry, a 250 and half tech could also be an excellent addition. In particular on a larger map like this, it can give them some great mobility here against Expensive Runner, so that could be a consideration for them. You can see that we already got the tank of the tank up for Expensive Runner. It could actually be a really fast anti-aircraft half tech. He's feeling particularly bullish, but more likely it's just a T-70. But even then, he's going to be getting it out fairly fast, I think, with a good chance there. 2-2 on the way for Angry Dutchman. No upgrades yet for the Gunnies, but again, he can upgrade with either the light machine gun or the G43. Both have the advantages and disadvantages. G43 is for more aggressive mobile play, but the MG42 is like, just all around, but also a bit more static play. So there are some, again, trade-offs. But so far, Angry Dutchman is not making that trade-off, at least making that decision. You could also, of course, go for a mix of them, 2 with MG42s, 2 with the G43s. We'll have to see what he does, but we get the armor car out there for Angry Dutchman. Can't take some losses from the Car-9 TKs of the Grenadiers. Pioneer standing right next to the fuel pond. They're staring at it, they're considering it, and there you go, they're finally moving up on it. Armor car, they catch contact this autocannon collection machine gun. We do get the half-tech of Expensive Runner. A fast half-tech is definitely a challenge for Angry Dutchman. So both players here, of course, both veteran, highly experienced players. I'm definitely playing an aggressive, fluid game here, which is always a delight to see. Half-tech almost down there for Expensive Runner, the M5. Of course, Lend-Lease provided. Fun fact, most of the SOD half-techs really didn't see much frontline action because the SODs were so short on transport trucks that most half-techs were typically just mostly used for logistics. So most of them, very few of them actually just never really saw much combat. So, little fun fact there. Got the Quartman almost ready. He can meanwhile at least reinforce the frontline troops until it gets upgraded. Pack 40 out of there. Go Quartman ready, and that's them going to be a challenge here for Angry Dutchman. Still, he's got fairly good map control versus Expensive Runner at the moment. And we do get the light machine gun, so I mean standard choice here, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. A part of me would like to see some G43s there, the Jaeger infantry package. After going up, they're going to use there, unleashing a torrent, a veritable storm of 50 caliber ammunition in the direction of the Germans. West side, you can see more points being grabbed by the Angry Dutchman. Thumbs up to that. Again, not a dull moment here. If a player sees an opportunity, he seizes it and doesn't suffer from tunnel vision. Just reinforcing and healing, well, mostly healing at this point actually. And there you go, got the first guard squad out for Expensive Runner. We were probably looking at 2, and there's also a good chance of the heavy mortar. That said, he's a bit short on the munition seal with the anti-aircraft half-tech, which I suppose is like, the one downside of going for the half-tech. Even it's like faster, it does mean he does have munitions for this, but on the other hand, he has the anti-aircraft half-tech, so argument is he probably doesn't need it that badly for the time being. MG42 on the way the Angry Dutchman finally to help deal with the infantry, in particular with the help of those guardsmen. We'll have to see, of course, what Angry Dutchman does next. He could go for Jaeger Command Squad. He could go for more machine guns. Mortars would also be a good addition here. And of course, he could try and rush up for the next tier. He needs to be caught by the gunners for the light machine guns. Western fuel plant will fled by Soviet forces. Guard in pursuit here of the armoured car. Half-tech remains here a bit behind, could also fit in the gunners by the eastern points. Which is exactly what it's going to do there. And Friedrich there gets absolutely shredded within a matter of moments. Could see further casualty. There we go. Jürgen drops it dead as well. Grenade here against the Pack 14 for playing counter with guardsmen. In the center, can bring up there. Definitely a bit dicey, and there you go. Western fuel points almost seized here by Expensive Runners. All of this has been happening here. So good overall counter push here by Expensive Runner. Makes good use of his infantry and mechanized assets here versus Angry Dutchman, who does take up here. You need some reconnaissance? Yes. Few points are rapidly exchanging hands once more. Back here, base reinforcement healing there for Expensive Runner. Supply sector under attack. Catch the gun easy by the cup, moving into the Pantherfast, the half-track. Good hit there, damaging the engine. Send being grabbed by the Pioneers, east side there being grabbed by the Conscript Corps, sandbags down to make it hard for them to be pushed out. Oh, we do get some G33s. Not quite a 50-50 split, but like we got 3 with machine guns, then we got 1 that can essentially be said to be an assault element with the G33s and the grenades. Interesting there, interesting. Definitely gives them a bit more options there. You could also add in the Jaeger command squad now, as add in a Panzer Grenadier squad later. We'll have to see what Angry Dutchman he does. Got to come to the building here. Cis 3 Division Field Gun there for expensive runner. Pushing each specific the Grenadiers. Quick rushing backwards towards the cover. Could spend forward to the Grenadiers to try and get before there. Of course, just pop a grenade when closing in. Or at least sprint to get close. There we go, Steel Hand Grenade. Hoping to bait them into the grenade here, though expensive runner does not take the bait. And before to come on the flank, we've got the half-tank and there's no anti-tank as they do with the half-tank. Not even an armoured car there, so... Bit extended there. Still, the grenades are getting a bit of the heavy cover bonus, so they won't be immediately suppressed, but that only lasts for so long, since they're not fully covered. Guys, then pushing back the rest of the force in the centre. We got the Sapoma up, the Angry Dutchman could rush out as Stuke here. Probably won't, though, but he could. More likely he's going to go for an Osman here or a Panzer IV. That said, he will get out armor here sooner than expensive runner due to better field control in this regard. So, still, going for the half in this regard then actually ends up being a boon for expensive runner, since it obviously means he's got more fuel towards that those tanks then. So, thumbs up there to expensive runner. And of course to Angry Dutchman. Can go for this dude now. Again, I doubt he will, but he could consider it. More likely an Osman here would be much more impactful versus expensive runner than just a Panzer IV. That said, the Stu could quickly hunt down the half-tank and put it out of its misery. There we go. We do get the Jaeger command squad here for Angry Dutchman now. Putting up 2 4 gun units. He apparently lost the gun squad there. Now he technically has a mix of 50-50 mix of G43s and light machine guns. Just not the way it initially had imagined. Having more out here for expensive runner. Pushing westwards with the engineers. Eastern Fury crap there. Got disruption there by expensive runner, though he can't maintain this. Too exposed to position. Also got machinery positioned out on the flank. He probably should consider adding some ambush camouflage. Heavy machine gun teams benefit a lot from that one in my experience. Half time about, we got 3 kills on it, close to efficiency 2. Pulling off there, and both sides of the sandbags have been wired off. Got the gunners opening with the G43s back up with the guns with the light machine gun. Pushed off the western point there. And there you go, Haymortar there adding a significant pressure element against Angry Dutchman's infantry. Makes it difficult to, like, be, held up in cover, because the Haymortar can just threaten to, quickly deal a lot of damage very fast. So it's going to force Angry Dutchman to have to get more aggressive himself to, overcome this, which will require armor. But he's clearly going for the Panzer IV here, which again is a very solid, safe choice here. That Grenadier squad needs to retreat, and now in the Pack 40 is also been exposed position here. Heavy mortar continues to rain down death there. Heavy fighting around the western point, and there we go. We do get ambush camouflage on the MD42 team. Thumbs up. Panda 4 there for the Angry Dutchman. Expensive runner, meanwhile, is getting close to that mechanized armor company himself, but until then, he is a bit behind. Telemann considered, but stopped, and sandbags right outside the opponent's base entrance there. Cheeky expensive runner. Cheeky breaky. Back at base there, nothing further happening here. Oh, we got the engineers of an MD42 and a flamethrower. Oh boy. Now there's a combo straight out of hell. Panda 4 right around the corner. 7 kills, closing in on the ace on that one. Comes down to fire here. And there you go, Panda 4 ready there for the Angry Dutchman. Should of course add the pinler mounted MD42. There we go. West side MD40 captain engineers here in the centre. We've got the Grenadiers with the guardsman there. Field guns up in the Panda 4. Oh, he's getting too close to the concrete hitman. Oh, he doesn't have anti-tank grenade research. Oh dear, and the half-tank's almost getting knocked out here. Could even possibly take out the field gun here. This is starting to look a bit more dicey here for the expansion. And there, go half-tank down. Good push for the Panther 4. I feel like he should have pursued here the field gun and cleared out here, but he's probably concerned about anti-tank grenades being, and then this kind of worked out fairly well with Angry Dutchman. I mean, getting rid of this is huge. Spencer on those taking up there. Could do the fix up the Panther 4 bit here, but overall that is pretty good. The only way this could be better again, I think, if he had rushed after the field gun and just finish it off here, which point I think Expensive Runner would have been some deep blood. Also worth noting what he did here, he merged the conscripts with the field gun crew, quickly him up to full strength. Thumbs up there, very handy application of the merge ability. Pushing for the fuel point again. Sandbags on the car front to make it more defensible. Jaeger command's got an ambush position. Could of course upgrade some of his other infantry with ambush camouflage. Meanwhile, Expense Runner has the fuel, he just needs the manpower for the T-3485. And Angry Dutchman needs to fix up his Panzer IV a bit. He may also want to consider a second Pioneer Squad. Mortar is also a good addition, but another Pioneer Squad I think would also be an excellent addition once he gets more armor out, just to fix up his tanks faster and get them back into the fight faster. Rifling it off against the conscript, shoots, misses. So we've got 378% from 29. Did not fix up the Panther 4. Or at least not enough, he just wants to pressure his opponent more, which makes sense. Small assault force moving eastwards here. Didn't get the Jaeger command squad fully upgraded. Or reinforced, I mean, not fully upgraded. There's not really any upgrades for them. Popping into the building here. Panther 4 shoots. Does a bit of damage to the building, but nothing to the units inside. Field moving in there. Ooh, that's actually kind of risky. He could actually get flanked here with the troops. We'll have to see if Angry Dutchman seizes upon this opportunity. He does not. Or at least he does a bit too slow. Oh, straight into mine. And Hansjörg and Dietmar there gets blown to bits. Quick fill out his forces there. Panther 4 need repairs rapidly. Can soon go for an Ostwind, or wait a bit longer for a Panther 4. Well, he can go for a Stu right about now. Who more in trouble? Actually got it killed. Very good. Thumbs up. That's it. Angry Dutch quick group there. Go calling in the light artillery barrage to maybe finish it off here. Or at least keep it out of the search pan for a little bit longer. There we go. The very rare mortar wipe 2 times in a row. Heavy mortar wipe that is. He actually moves into crew while still under artillery fire here. That's it. Angry Dutchman can't extend force enough there to actually, get it back or at least destroy it. So still wiped it twice in a row. That's kind of neat. T-35 there for Expensive Runner. Angry Dutchman's closing in another Panther 4 here. Obviously the T-35 getting at some Stugs would be a pretty good idea as well. And obviously you should be aware of what he's going up against. I mean, it's the most chosen cert command at higher levels, plus you've got heavy mortars and Guards Rifle Infantry. I mean, there's pretty much no other commander this could be. But there you go, second Panther 4, and again 2 Panther 4s versus 1 T-35 is obviously not bad. But it should just be a nice addition. So there you go, T-35 out there for Expensive Runner and the Red Army. Fielding up in the Panther 4, shoots but misses. Rifling it off in the command squad against the Guardsmen. Had hoped they sort of retreat into it. But the Expensive Runner didn't take the bait, or he just didn't care about the rifle grenade. And there you go, you can see they're very intent on trying to bait each other into like the grenades here. Which is typically something amongst higher level players, like they'll expect them to like try and dodge the grenade, and then they'll aim the grenades after that. And you can see they're also both experienced enough to not take the bait. But again, versus less experienced players, they will likely take the bait, at which point you could have a decent chance of getting a wipe that way. Particularly if they exit the building there, so thumbs up to that one. Panther 4 moving in here, second Panther 4 arriving here. We got Mark Beetle on 1 Panther 4 here. Still 2 Panther 4s does give here Angry Dutchman some nice offensive firepower. That said, he has suffered 2 infantry wipes now. Wipes, yeah. And he's down to just 2 infantry squads for his opponent with 4. Definitely, I think something here that Angry Dutchman will need to plug up soon. Aircraft shot out of the skies for the Pentagon. That's very good there. Need to shoot that grenade squad before it gets wiped here. Already very low on health here. Got 6 or 4 kills on that T-35. Mortar here with 4 kills as well, and we got the side here mortar that got wiped several times with no kills for now. Half 8 of 82 on the German mortar. Got the armored car on the left side here, not doing too much for that the time being. Pack 4 lands in the T-35. There you go. Grenades almost wiped out by the T-35. There's single shot from this 85mm high explosive shell there to devastates the unit. Picks up the Panzer IV. Bit of quiet here between the two sides, repairing armor. And of course, Angry Dutchman, the only 2 infantry squads. He's, I think, with much more limited options currently for offensive play. That said, like if he combines all of his armor, infantry, and the armored car with a smoke screen and some good reconnaissance, I think he can still pull off something there. But it's going to be, I think, much closer here, particularly since the ones he's got are light machine gun teams, which again aren't quite as well suited for offensive action as units with G43s or assault rifles are. Sandbags here. Smoke's being deployed here. Could this be offensive action then for Expensive Runner? He's also close to another T-35 fireball in terms of fuel. Manpower, a bit more to go over there. It looks like he is in fact deploying smoke here to mess with Angry Dutchman defenses here. Very good there. Pioneers taking us hit from the heavy mortar. Can't move forwards. That said, doesn't look to have been as aggressive as it could have been. Jaeger commands got out of Angry Dutchman, replacing some of his losses. Thumbs up to that. Pack was about to get wiped out here. And may narrowly escape here, but only very narrowly. And he's routed here. Front line for Angry Dutchman is definitely battling under the Soviet pressure here from Expensive Runner. He's using the mortar there and counter barrage ability, by the way, there. The problem is it does require the heavy mortar to get within range of the German mortar, and yeah, no, that's a bit optimistic, I think, at times. A bit optimistic. I still feel like they should not go on for counter barrage building the German mortar. They should go on for the bouncing mortar bomb, which is basically just an airburst shell. Which is a little trick German mortars had, because what they could do is, like, they had some special mortar bombs with a little smoke pellet at the tip, so when it hit the ground, the smoke pellet sent the mortar back up into the mortar bomb back up into the air, exploding that way like an airburst shell. It's a rather sneaky trick there. Okay, apparently it's firing back now at the mortar there. But yeah, it's just an easy target there for the third mortar, meanwhile it's not doing too much else works, so. Artillery barrage off here on the field gun. Gonna use the conscripts. Light infantry shows they're hammering the field gun crew there. Just got the conscripts wiped. Issue 5 on the way there for Expensive Run. I would have figured another T-35, honestly, but Issue 5 could also work out quite well, I guess. Angry Dutchman, I think, would benefit a lot from Stuke here, but another Panther 4 could also at this point honestly work out well. Need to fix up that Panther 4 again. There we go, got the Issue 5 to tank the shot there for Expensive Runner. Match definitely operating at a slightly slower pace here, as both players sort of like, you know, are roughly equally matched in terms of like firepower. But you know, partly it's the map there, sort of constrained sections a bit. There goes smoking off again. I'm guessing this is just to like mess with Angry Dutch, making think like an attack might come, perhaps. I can see that making sense. That's a pretty sneaky way of using it, by the way. That, of course, requires your opponents, like, you know, recognize like a smoke barrage like that as a possible attack. But if you use it correctly, you can definitely, I think, mess with the opponent. Mind in the case of the German assault, we also got. Looks like he's lining up for an assault for the west here, though. which case he could try and, like, you know, rapidly push through here and then sort of swing in from the west here, hitting a lot of expensive runners units from that angle. I mean, considering he's got, like, not really much intelligence there, and of course a lot of his squishy stuff is angled towards here, that could actually work out well. But there you go, another smoke screen here. And we got smoke screens from Angry Dutchman. Or is it smoke signals? I don't know. But it's quite interesting that you're sort of smoking sort of the opposite area there. We got mines down to cover the German smoke screen. Cheeky expensive runner. Cheeky breaky. No additional armor yet here for Angry Dutchman. He's slowly moving up. I feel like this should have been a much more aggressive swap. We can see there the way this sort of slowed down. We can see there I think Expensive Runner has realized this flank is actually like a vulnerability. He's laying down mines to cover it up there. So again, yeah, could have been a bit fast here for Angry Dutchman. In this regard, he ended up perhaps giving away there to Expensive Runner that he's going to like attack from here. More smoke being deployed though. I like this. And there we go. Stug. I like this a lot. 2 thumbs up. Of course he has to make good use of it, but there we go. Good shot from the Pantherful here. Got to take some losses. Ooh, close one there. Very close. He needs to check for mines. Minen! Scheiße! Also needs to like commit properly. Like in this case, I think the issue is like just moving into fuel force at the same time. He needs to actually deploy the smoke, then push in, I think, with as many forces as he can, including the armoured car. In fact, you should probably use the armoured car along with infantry awareness as sort of like, you know, well, a scout undercover smoke to like get the fullest idea of like Expensive Runner's position and then make the push. And then call in some support as well from artillery and whatnot. Stug almost done here for Angry Dutchman. Looks like we might be getting a rather explosive fight here at some point. Or engagement, I mean. Mortar being pulled back. Stug fleet already have Angry Dutchman. He's advancing the fire from the Pioneers. The commands were waiting fire there. And he's also ambushed up here. Panther on the side here. Stug moving in. T-45 then misses the Panther 4. The Panther 4 though also misses in return. And he's taking man lost there as Dieter and Dietrich get blown to bits, but the T-45 get the Panther 4 moving up there. Great from this issue found in the Panther 4. The Panther 4 moving in. The Stug remains from the serve here, not committing. Again, the assault is not being executed smoothly as by Angry Dutchman as it could be. Like elements are just sitting back doing nothing. We got the anti-tank strafe here for Angry Dutchman. Panther 4 taking intense damage. Mortar sort of back at base, not doing too much either. And there you go, the strafe ends up doing nothing here. Need to fix up the Panther 4 Schnell. Pack lands a good hit there. Target weak point is now available. And now in that sense, it was not uncommon for German anti-tank crews to actually have like different like tank silhouettes with weak points marked on them, actually like on the insides of the gun shield as a little visual aid there. So that one's actually like fairly historically accurate in a sense. Obviously targeting an actual weak point, but it's not so much stun. The crew's done a ton of damage, maybe just cooking up immediately. And similarly, firing a heat shell would also be more about, you know, just dealing a lot of damage. Anyways, Phil gets back to the Panther 4. Here's with the conscripts. Mortar gains for T3, very good here, and tier 4 now. I feel like just another Stug here would actually be perfect for Angry Dutchman. Like 2 Stug can lay down a lot of firepower, things like Devastate, H-35s, and T-35s here. We got another T-35 out here for Angry Expensive Runner. Artillery here, catching some of the Expensive Runner's force, then retreat. He forces the conscripts, pack following to block off the T-35 here. Stug though with its main gun completely knocked out. Panther 4 those fixed up, other Panther 4 need repairs. It's actually very close to Victory 2 though. It's definitely, I think, a much more deliberate fight, and partly again it's sort of like, you know, how the center of the map works. It really just constrains offensive action, so it sort of tends to turn into like a grind at times. Because it's difficult to like get off a proper attack going, in particular like attack from the north towards the south as well. So you can totally understand why the pace of the match is sort of changed into this, because like just the map kind of creates these situations. As it just creates a lot of these bottlenecks, effectively. Another motion there from Expansion Runner. Panther that pushed back. Another pack 40 of Angry Dutchman. And I feel like another Stuke would honestly be better. In part because, again, the Stuke are much more to keep pace with an attack and just finish off Soviet armor compared to the pack 40s. Stuke are going for it. Another pack ready there. Yeah, command's gonna fight. Gonna use the need to open up. They're not. No. Okay, there we go. Mortifying with the 6 kills. You can see the Expansion Runner slowly getting his attack underway. Troops here being caught by the Soviet armor. Could actually see a wipe here. There you go. Yeah, command's got gone. He's got almost wiped as well here. Quite painful. Armor is still awaiting repairs here. Things are happening a bit awkwardly for Angry Dutchman. Meanwhile, Expansion Runner is just slowly tightening the noose here around Angry Dutchman's neck. Slowly creeping forward there for the glory of the Red Army. Troop reinforcing healing. Pack forward into the T-35 here. Panther forming in as well there. Going straight for the T-34-85. Good shot there. Bet you 2 gains. Shots added. Good hit there from the field on the flank of it. Panther forming up. They could try and flank the field gun with a bit of blitzkrieg, but there's infantry coming up the flank. You've got the armor coming, the pioneers. But yeah, I think at this point it's more like, you know, not whether he wants to, but rather he has to. He can't afford to wait around long. Meanwhile, got the Stuke being assailed again. Veterans 1 gain, but not enough needs for the heat shells. There we go. Armor car down. Artillery calling in the field gun here. Panther 14 min from the Stuke is kaput. It's always the Stuke, isn't it? Artillery barrage goes off the mark. They almost got a contact, but it does escape. The 1 man survives. This downs look pretty rough here for Angry Dutchman. The Pack 40 and the Stuke is gone, even just with 2 Panther 4s versus 2 T-35s and H-35, plus still the field gun there. That is not great odds here for Angry Dutchman. His infantry, of course, also fallen short again, whereas Expansion Runner has still yet to suffer like any significant wipes on his infantry. So definitely looking a bit rough here for Angry Dutchman. Looking a bit rough, and he's going for the heavy Panther call now. Yeah, I'm not super sold on that one. But honestly, I rarely am. I'll give it people that. I rarely am ever sold on T4 for the Wehrmacht. But I particularly feel like under these current circumstances, it's like just an extra bad idea. Like, typically, it only really works if you're, like, far ahead, at which point you still just be going for like, more medium armor, but when you're behind, it's just not a good investment at all. Like, the units just underperform so much compared to the cost, and the opponent just, for example, at this point, just churn out more T-45s, except he's at full pop cap. Also, at this point, like, it has, like, another sort of unintended not good side effect, is, like, you know, delay moves pioneers away from repairing his tanks, which he also really badly needs. Got smoke grenade being deployed in case there's something in the cemetery. Tactically signed there by Expansion Runner. So right now, Angry Dutchman's pretty much been confined to his base, except for the machine gun, which has been left on its own in the cemetery. That's not exactly the greatest position to be on your own. So Friedrich, we are going to get saved, yeah? Yeah? Shut up, Hans. I'm trying not to think too much about this. Engaging the base there. But I'm guessing he's going to like hope the Panther somehow saves him. Pack 4 lands a hit there. Like a man hoping that Steiner's army will come through and save Berlin. Except in this case, while the Panther is technically real, it's not going to really be useful. Maybe it's going to be real, I don't know. It could end up not appearing just like Steiner's 5th Army. And he can go for it, but he's speeding up victory points fast. His opponent, meanwhile, by the way, is taking this chance just to dig in to pretty much shut down like any possibility of the Panther like making any impact. Machine is still just waiting out there. So, very, very quiet stuff. He's got plenty of mines for Expansion Runner. He's got 2 tanks, including 1 veteran, 2 and halfway to the east level. Got the E-55. Got field guns, sandbag positions, mines going down all over the place. And again, like Spencer Ryan's got 2 grenadiers scores for light machine gun, that's about it. And again, they're not great assault infantry on their own. Machine gun, they're retreating. Looks like he's planning up for an eastern push, which is probably like the best idea because again, like every gun's pointing towards here. I mean, moving towards through here would be suicidal also because like there's a tiny gap here which isn't helped by the fact his infantry company's blocking that. So an eastern bound push, I think, is tactically the best idea. Like there's much more room to maneuver and crucially much fewer so guns pointing in that direction, but there's still some. Panther running here as well. There's Angry Dutchman finally pushing forwards. Pioneers not really clearing the minefields though, but at least ensuring the tanks don't get caught up on it. Panzer 5 moving in, the Panther 4 infantry pushing forwards here. There you go. Panther hits one of the mines not discovered and is immediately a target of priority here for the T-35s and the H-5 here. We got marked target on as well, I imagine here. No, it's actually on the Panther 4. Surprising choice there. But even then, I don't think it's going to need against the Panther anyways because it's already taking so much damage. Panther 4 hits the other mine. Almost got the Panther there already. There we go. Panther 4 out. Second Panther 4 out as well. And with that, the Angry Dutchman surrenders. GG game over. Loss here for Deutschland. A victory for the Red Army. A nice good and back 4 fight. But again, I feel like in the party, Angry Dutchman at times struggle like, you know, attacking here on this map, which again can be tough. But again, I think had he coordinated a bit better and also had some assault troops, I think they've been a better chance. Plus, you know, just gone for a second Stug instead of trying to go for tier 4. Like, it's just so very rarely ever worth it. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. You'll learn something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell a friend, tell a family. And of course, consider donating or pledging on Patreon. Links in the description. This is Imperial Links and cheers. Thank you for watching. You're all a wonderful audience. And I hope to see you all tomorrow again for another exciting episode. Bye.